And we're here at the police department. We're finally here. Why would they put the detectives so far away from the prosecutor's office? To avoid prosecutors spanking detectives for doing a terrible job? That took almost 30 minutes by taxi, and traffic wasn't even that bad. I'm surprised you had money for the taxi. This is my first time to the police department, actually. Wait, what's that? It's something that'll haunt your nightmares. And that'll be the music to it. Disturbing! Why does it undulate like that? Oh, wait, I know. This is the Blue Badger. They're trying to make him the police mascot. Wow, Mr. Wright, you know a lot about the police department. Yeah, not bad for a first-timer. Still, he does seem familiar somehow. This is gonna be annoying later on, believe me. Forget the Blue Badger. Who's that next to him? Someone appears to be dancing with the Blue Badger. Oh, he noticed me. He sure is running over here fast. Hey, pal. What are you doing here? It's my line, Detective Gumshoe. Specifically, why were you dancing over there? What? Well, at least he doesn't seem to be busy. This is our chance to get information. Hey, I'll have you know I'm a very busy man, pal. Sure, let's talk first. 'Cause yes, once again there are things that are unlocked by showing him stuff. I'll give you one word of advice, pal. You'd better not agree to defend the suspect in this case. Why not? Huh? Well, it's just that the chief prosecutor has confessed to the crime. She says she summoned the detective to the prosecutor's office and she killed him. But what if she's not telling the truth? Yes, well, no, I mean, come on, pal. There's plenty of evidence against her. I'd love to see that evidence. But what if the evidence was faked? Hey, pal. Can I speak to you for a second? Me? Why is this little girl so peeved at me? She's a relative of the suspect, Lana Sky's sister. Oh, the chief prosecutor's little sister? Just please investigate this case carefully, okay? Scientifically! 'Cause scientifically your sister would never lie. Yes, sir. Oh, by the way, you might want to keep your voices down. You don't want to be overheard using words like faked. Huh? It's a sensitive issue with us these days. Okay. So, what are you doing here, Detective Gumshoe? Me? Oh, well, nothing really. They kicked me out of criminal affairs. Detective Gumshoe? What did you do this time? What do you mean, this time? Then, what happened? I know things are busy right now. I mean, with my sister's case and all. Yes, 'cause your sister's case is the only thing gonna happen within the next few weeks. Yeah, it's true, we've never had a chief prosecutor murder anyone before. Gyakuten Kenshi 2 spoilers? Well, not really. We know that the chief prosecutor during Manfred's time was corrupt, at least. So that being revealed in the second Edgeworth game is not really much of a revelation. But yes. Only the highest ranked people are being led into criminal affairs now. The lowest ranked guy in there is our chief of detectives. They're not letting any of us rank and file detectives in at all. None of you? I know this is an important trial, but isn't that a little odd? So anyway, I thought I'd spend the day getting the Badger to ends down pat. Isn't there anything else you could be doing? The chief of police himself is directing this investigation, pal. and Officer Marshall was assigned to the underground parking lot. Officer Marshall. Now that I think about it, Emma did seem to know that Marshall guy. Didn't she already admit that she knew him? A patrolman in charge of a crime scene. It's unheard of, pal. Yeah, it certainly is. Oh man. Summer tiredness. Then again, we are having 30 degrees over here. Detective? Here's my attorney's badge. You show this to me every time we meet, pal. Real men show the police badge. Enough said. I wish I had a badge. Even an ID card would be nice. Wait. Speaking of ID cards, I found the detective's card, didn't I? Detective Gumshoe? What can you tell me about this? Hey pal, this is a detective's ID card. You can't just keep that, you have to turn it to the police. It's people like you that get me into so much trouble all the time. Meaning Detective Gumshoe must drop his card a lot. Let's see, Bruce Goodman. Goodman. Sounds familiar. Nah, my mistake. But don't you work together with him in the criminal— Whoa! Now I remember. Bruce Goodman. He's the victim. That's what I thought. This needed to be clarified, I guess. Found in Mr. Edgeworth's car, stabbed with Mr. Edgeworth's knife, huh? What would drive Chief Prosecutor Skye to do such a thing? Wait, I mean, sure, of course, someone else really did it. Someone who must have, someone who must have a grudge against Mr. Edgeworth. The car and the knife do seem a little too well organized to be a coincidence. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. What could have happened? We have to find a little more about what's going on with Edgeworth. Well, sure, a good back rub or similar is gonna, you know, make him open up. Also, if we show the parking stub, it's basically the same as if we showed the knife. Hey, that's it. That's the King of Prosecutors award that Mr. Edgeworth got yesterday. Were you at the awards ceremony with Detective Gumshoe? Of course, pal. I got an award for diligence myself. Good for you! I hope it also included a extra paycheck? Congratulations! I was wondering, why is the award a shield? And why is it broken? Oh, there's a reason. I'll tell you what it is later. Apparently, he's forgotten. But I was proud of Mr. Edgeworth for winning that award. He's even got naysayers in the prosecutor's office. Yeah, we've heard about the rumors. Once again, those are not rumors. So, this ID card belonged to the victim? Yes, it did, Phoenix. It has his name on it, as well as his picture. He was a detective like myself. Detective Bruce Goodman. Figured as much from the ID, yes. Don't you think it's strange? I mean, why would the victim's ID card be lying on the ground where we found it? Well, Detective Goodman should have been at the police department yesterday. There was an evidence transferal for a case he handled 2 years ago. Evidence transferal? Mr. Edgeworth mentioned that too. But Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office. Well, that's the thing. It's hard to say this, but word is that Chief Prosecutor Skye called him out there to the parking lot. And Lana's confession as much. He's in a tough spot again. Again? Yeah, you know, remember that case that you worked like 2 months ago? I'm sure you've forgotten by now. Ah, I remember the voice I gave Manfred von Karma. Boy, was that painful in my throat. Well, it all started with the murder of the defense attorney Hammond.
But Mr. Edgeworth was found innocent!
Listen, pal, there have always been rumors about Edgeworth. Forging evidence, making deals with witnesses. Nothing outright, but there were always whispered rumors. Ever since he was accused of murder, no one's whispering. They're practically shouting.
But there's no evidence against him.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth has always had unusually strong ties to department higher-ups. It's only natural that people would be suspicious.
I had no idea he was under the gun.
Anyway, this latest case has started a new rumor. People say the only reason he took the case is because he's aiming for the chief prosecutor position himself. Spoilers for Dual Destinies, in about 8 years he will be chief prosecutor. He'll also be wearing glasses. What? But I know the truth, pal. Nobody wants to be the one who has to prosecute the chief prosecutor. Mr. Edgeworth is biting the bullet on this one. He's doing this for all of us. Yes, because Edgeworth is such a self-sacrificing person to begin with. Yeah, I guess you don't have anything to say. Let's talk about this.
I was wondering about that.
What? The Dancing Blue Badger? It's my masterpiece. You made this, Detective Gumshoe? The chief threw together some designs and I just did my thing, pal.
Nice work!
It's battery powered, so it can go anywhere. There's no switch, so it just dances until the batteries die.
Wonderful. Poor Blue Badger, fated to dance until he drops.
What the hell do you think Giselle is about? The prince was supposed to die through dancing in that ballet. Giselle only saved him at the end. Also, yes, Giselle had some other stuff going on, but general idea there. And that's all I know about that. I'm not officially on the case, you know.
Thank you!
Why aren't you handling the case, Detective Gumshoe? Well, he's kind of an incompetent but good-natured bumbler. And he is pretty close to Edgeworth. Not as close as he wishes to be, but still. We met the guy who was... What was his name? The guy in the parking lot. That'd be Officer Marshall. He was appointed directly by the Chief of Police. Officer Marshall... Is he some kind of Wild West sheriff or something? No, Jake Marshall's just a regular officer. From West LA. Ha! It's funny because West always means Wild West. For a moment there, I wasn't sure. Look, pal, let me try to make things a little easier for you. Show them this, and I'll let you examine the crime scene. Maybe. Yes, because a detective who is not on the case has the authority to tell them to let them in? Look, the patrolman is saluting the other guy. He must be a detective. And then I said, "Hey, you do that, your suit will get cold, buddy." That's hilarious, sir. I laughed so hard I cried.
I guess he wasn't saluting, he was wiping tears from his eyes.
They make a good pair. Nice pair of idiots. Hey, back here. Looks like the investigation is still going. I can't remember who is this right now. I think it's Angel Star. No way, it sounds like Jake Marshall. No, it is Angel Star. Oh, still here.
Hello?
Why the surprised looks? Didn't I mention? I've got a boyfriend in criminal affairs too. What happened to the security card? They're about as fake as the next one. Hey, what's wrong, Bambino? You're looking like a dog. It's lost its herd. You mean a dog? Which doggy is usually done with 2 G's? Or something else? Jake Marshall. Strange guy to put in charge of a crime scene. Yeah, he's kind of an idiot. Shut up and take this! Would you mind reading this for me? It has such big long words, I don't know how to read them. What's this? I warn you, fan letters to me go right in the spittoon. It's a letter of introduction from Detective Gumshoe. May we investigate? Gumshoe? Oh, the old cow dog. He holding a birthday party or something? Huh? Look where it should say letter of introduction. It says invitation. I think he just miswrote it. Great, Detective Gumshoe. I owe you one. No worries, this proves it's from Detective Gumshoe. Better run the blood test. Guess I'd better let you in then.
Thank you, Officer Marshall.
Officer Marshall isn't a detective. He's a patrolman. He's also an asshole and kind of has a dumb thing going on, but... yeah.
Isn't a crime scene supposed to be handled by a detective or higher?
Well, folks, clues are calling. Welcome to our gold strike. Be like a settler. Strike out for lands unknown. Manifest destiny. Let's have a hootenanny.
Note to self, police investigations are like settling land. Well, Mr. Red, what do you say?
I say I won't be needing this anymore. Alright, compadre, we're counting 3.
Huh?
You gotta do that if you're gonna draw evidence on someone. That's what we do in Texas. Remind me now if this is Texas. I was gonna say, isn't Phoenix in Mexico or Texas, but I think it's Phoenix, Arizona? Then again, I'm not good with geography. It could still be in Texas or whatever. Officer Marshall, could you tell us more about the victim? I'll take that as a no. Good men always die young. Remember that, partner. I guess this explains why you're still alive. Could you be a little more specific?
Bruce Goodman, he was a detective, right?
Well, aren't you a feisty doggy there now? Detective Goodman was stabbed here at 5:15. The smile of Madonna told me the tale. I think he means the witness, Miss Angel Starr. One stab to the chest. Fine piece of work. This here's the autopsy report.
Was my sister involved with the victim in any way?
Funny you should mention that, Bambina. Chief Prosecutor Ska and Detective Goodman had nothing in common at all. Except for that one case where everybody worked on it earlier, but that's totally nothing in common, no. It's like saying all the characters in Final Fantasy VIII had nothing to do with each other except for being in the same orphanage when they were children.
Nothing in common?
They apparently worked together on a case a few years back. No common connection or anything like that. So, there's no motive. Goodman wasn't a particularly gifted detective. That's one reason why I didn't do much work with the chief prospector.
But my sister called the victim here on the day of the murder, right? Here to the parking lot?
So it seems, like calling an unarmed man to a shootout at high noon. I don't mean any offense, but... Officer Marshall, you're a patrolman, right? Not a detective. You calling me out. They shoot you for that in Texas. You know, if I get shot because I'm speaking the truth, or pointing out contradictions, then I don't want to go to Texas either. Eh? I was one of them fancy shoe detectives till 2 years ago, to tell you the truth. Oh really? Now he tells me.
But you're a patrolman now, so how can you be in charge of a crime scene?
Nothing gets by you, does it, Bambina? So, why are you in charge? No reason. We're just short on hands right now. I'm keeping an eye out in the meantime. Yes, because, you know, if you throw out detectives like Gumshoe, you are short-staffed and do need to get patrolmen to do detectives' jobs. Makes sense.
That's odd, though. Detective Gumshoe was saying he had nothing to do. Nothing important, at least.
He's nothing but a sad old cow dog that can't find his tail. Maybe it's because he runs with that Edgeworth, eh? Edgeworth? Your lover? That cow dog's been kicked out of Cattle Run by order of the chief of police. Just, he don't realize it yet. Detective Gumshoe kicked out of the investigation? Yeah, strangely enough, he was allowed to do something like that in 1-4, despite having a big connection with Edgeworth. Do you have anything to say about this? Was that some sort of police passport? This is Detective Goodman's ID card, strangely enough. We found it a good distance away from the crime scene. Like 10-ish meters? Good distance in this rat hole. If you want distance, get yourself to Texas.
Texas?
This is a tiny little crime scene in a tiny little town with tiny little evidence. What difference does a few yards make, compadre?
Note to self, if you encounter suspicious evidence, think of Texas.
No, honey, you got that wrong. What you're supposed to do is lie down on your back and think of England, not of Texas.
There's no better way to study than to hang out with the pros.
Sure. Oh yes, his autopsy report. Loss of blood, 1 knife wound, died within an hour and a half of 4 p.m. 12-centimeter knife. Also between 4 p.m. and 5:30 p.m. You'd think that, technically, considering we have a witness saying it was pretty much after 5, they might shorten the time of potential death, but between 4 p.m. is there so we know that he wasn't actually killed here. I don't think you have anything to say about this stuff, so you can go fuck yourself. Oops. This appears to be the car where the body was found. It looks like the lock on the trunk is busted. The crime took place in the underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. The body was found in the trunk of my subordinate's car.
Quite a luxury car. It just screams, I have money to burn.
Yeah, prosecutors get the big bugs.
This rope, is it...
Yep, they laid it on the outline of the victim's body. Which, considering the crime scene photos we're gonna get later on, doesn't make sense this way.
So, wait, the victim must have died when the killer closed the trunk on him!
No, that's only done in horror films, and badly done horror films. You have got to be the only person I know that would come to that conclusion. I mean, seriously, considering, okay, spoilers, crime scene photos we have has him lying in the trunk, not falling out. So why the hell this? I don't know. This looks like a cell phone.
Scientific analysis would suggest this belonged to the victim. I can't think of anyone else it could belong to.
What's so scientific about that? Should we check it out?
I don't know. Can't we just give it to the police?
Oh, fine, we'll check it out. Right, let's check it out.
Man, what a boring strap!
Yeah, you gotta go to bed, but you gotta get a better strap on than that. What's wrong with it? Everyone has different tastes.
Here, check out mine. It's a pink princess strap. These are hard to come by, you know.
I see, he's as popular as ever with the kids. So anything on the back?
No. The display is still on the redial button.
Redial?
Mr. Wright? Most phones keep a record of all the calls you've made and received. You just press the blue button to dial the last number you called. Strange, my phone doesn't have one of these.
It does have a protocol of received and sent out, you know, calls, but not an instant redial button.
Conveniently, isn't it? I'm surprised you didn't know about it.
Sorry to disappoint you, but even I know about things like redial.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's just, you never know with people from your generation.
Whatever. Let's check this phone out. Fine, I can only check the redial button. I wonder who the owner of this phone called last.
Note to self, a defense attorney doesn't think first, he just pushes the button.
That song! I know that! Hey, what's going on over there? Sorry. Now, see you, partner. You pressed redial on the phone, didn't you? Yeah.
Whose phone is this anyway? It was on the ground over there.
Whose is it? That belongs to Chief Prospector Sky. And you know that, and you haven't taken pictures of it and removed it yet because...
What? It's my sister's!
She apparently dropped it when she was taken into custody right after the crime. Look, last call was made right when the murder occurred. Looks like she was fixing to call someone. Except she only spoke for a few seconds according to this. Who did she call? No idea. Sorry, partner. Somehow we didn't think of pressing the redial button ourselves. Now I got a question for you, partner. I heard a phone ring just now. One of those newfangled ringtones. Oh, that's I'm sorry. That was my phone. What? Your phone? Yeah, it's kind of strange, but someone called me right as we picked up the other phone. Wrong number. I hope you're not lying. They shoot you for that in Texas, partner. I've incited the wrath of the Lone Star Patrolman. An oil drum. Looks like it's filled with water.
It's heavy! I can't even budge it!
The drum over there is on its side.
Wait! I know! I'll hide in here and do a stakeout!
I think you'll probably just get arrested. Actually, you may not even have to hide in the drum to get arrested.
What? I'm not suspicious!
You most certainly aren't.
Your phone! Let's see if it works.
Hey, don't touch stuff we don't need to be touching.
I can't hear anything. My ears. No, my ears. Maybe it's due to the barometric pressure.
What is she babbling about?
Hey, what did you just say?
See, you can hear just fine. The phone's broken. Anything else? Then... there.
So, there's no connection between Detective Goodman and my sister?
That's correct, but there's a gold mine of evidence against her. And the prospector tomorrow is none other than Edgeworth himself. I'm afraid your sister's fate is decided, Bambina. Many condolences.
Officer Marshall!
Yeah, Bambina?
How can you say that? You and my sister, you were...
Is there something between this cop and her sister that I don't know about? Look, drunk making out totally didn't mean anything. She only did it to make, like, Angel Star jealous. I apologize, Bambina. Something must have gotten to me. Maybe it's that dry wind they blowing through the prospector's office. Dry wind or ill will, someone's up to something here. But who? Suspicions about Mr. Edgeworth have been flying around for nearly 2 years now. Forged evidence, wrenched testimony, you name it. He was unbeatable because he did whatever it took to win. Unbeatable, that is, until he met you. Yeah, Phoenix tends to fuck your life up.
But rumors are just rumors, aren't they? These are prosecutors we're talking about. Evidence is everything to them.
If you follow the rumors about Edgeworth to their source, you'll find one person. But they're off limits. Untouchable, you might say. One person? Who? Bambina. It's your sister. Chief Prospector Lana Skye. And she's untouchable because...
What? My sister?
Edgeworth couldn't wrestle all those cattle in by himself. Some people load the guns with bullets, some load them with deals. What? You're saying Edgeworth was making deals to win trials? Where there's gunshots, there's bound to be bullets. That's what the old-timers say. There's a big old secret hidden around here somewhere. Everyone knows it.
Is that why Detective Gumshoe was taken off the case? That's an interesting train of thought to go to.
Did they target him because he was closest to Edgeworth? Yeah, can you see Gumshoe actually forging something for Edgeworth's sake?
My sister's cell phone.
Yes, your sister's cell phone and you don't recognize it? Last time it was used was 5/18, right after Goodman was killed. Maybe she was cancelling her date for the night. Why did Lana make that call? Let's try things out. Yeah, whatever. Oh, right, I already showed him that. 5:12 p.m. Prospector's bright red steed came in at a trot real slow-like.
A trot?
Mama Donna tells me the crime occurred 3 minutes later. So it seems the chief prospector was lying in wait. Maybe waiting for a prince to ride in on his bright red horse. Well, if she's waiting for Edgeworth to ride in on a horse, she's barking up the wrong tree. So what you mean is... the killer intended to use Edgeworth's car all along. Toy shield. Suits the boy well. What exactly could you seal with that? A toy knight, maybe? It's a bronze statue, I can still smash your fucking head in with it.
Officer Marshall, don't you have anything good to say about Mr. Edgeworth?
You don't like him, right? We get the point. You know, when I was a detective, I got one of these.
Let me guess. Did it have a K for King of Detectives on it?
Hey, they could use the same shield over and over.
Note to self, the prosecutor's offers on criminal affairs are surprisingly cheap.
You know it. They've gotten cheaper with every passing year, I tell you. Adorable. Oh, right, I should have... I see your badge. Looks pretty round. Our badge is a star, a lone star shining in the nighttime sky. A beam of light illuminating the evildoers who come in the dark of night.
Note to self, evildoers are weak against starlight.
That's a sheriff's badge.
A block. This area is reserved for prosecutors.
Defense attorneys are relegated to B block.
I dream of the day when I will be able to park my car here. I'll go over to B block to buy my hamburgers from you, Mr. Wright.
I'm not planning on giving up my job that soon. Plus, the A block is for prosecutors. What makes her think that forensics would have a place there? Anyway, I think I got everything here. Nothing going on here? Anything new? Nope. Okay, one last look at Edgeworth's office. Nope. This was a problem with the case for me. After a while I think I got everything and then nothing happens and I can't unlock anything new. Cause this asshole is actually supposed to leave so that I can like tell Emma that that was her phone ringing.
This wall's in our way.
It's got a faucet for water.
Wait, I know! This wall is merely a facade hiding the truth. And this isn't a wall, but a water tank.
I fail to see how it makes any difference either way. What's this? Looks like a note of some sort.
Look, something's written on it.
You're right. Let's see. 67S122.
Maybe you want to turn it around.
Like 11037 from Danganronpa.
There's a name printed on the paper above that. Goodman.
Maybe it fell out of his pocket when he was killed.
Well, so, what does it mean, Mr. Wright?
How am I supposed to know?
Note to self, for detective reasoning, go to Edgeworth, not Wright.
Exactly. I'm sure Edgeworth wouldn't know what this means either.
So, well, how are we doing, Mr. Wright?
I guess we've got some clues. We have an autopsy report, a note from the victim, and a cell phone.
So, you think we'll be okay?
Sure. Well, the only thing still bothering me is Ladana's confessing to the crime. She says she did it.
No problem. I can guarantee that she's not the criminal.
By the way, Emma.
Yes?
I know that song your phone plays when it rings.
Eh?
It's the Steel Samurai theme song, isn't it? How dare you have the Steel Samurai and the Pink Princess both together on your phone? You can only like one or either, not both. According to a lot of fans online. That popular TV show for kids. The phone that just rang wasn't mine. It was yours. Thank you for that strange pause in between. At 5:18, just after the murder took place, your sister called you, didn't she, Emma?
I'm sorry.
Can you tell me what you talked about?
She hung up right away.
I see. A detective is murdered and the suspect is the top prosecutor in the district. I've got a bad feeling about this. Like, maybe I still don't know everything that went on here. Of course you don't. This is like only the second part and only the end of the first segment. But anyway, I'll see you in the next segment when we start the trial. Or at least the first day of the trial, which will go on to 2 or 3 days, I forget. But anyway, I'll see you next time.